All right, so today we are making a lemon cheesecake mousse. So we have our ingredients. We have graham crackers, we have our cream cheese, so we'll need 1 1/3 because it's 12 ounces. We have our powdered sugar, we have our lemons, we have our whipped topping, and that is everything. So the other thing that you might see that's different from what I've used on our videos, but we use it every time we cook in our classroom, it is this, which is called a power link. Now, the new ones look a lot different. This one has been around for, I don't know, 13 plus years, so it's a little dated, but it still works. So what you can do with this is you can plug anything into here that typically plugs in. So we're going to use it today with our mixer. So I will plug our mixer into there, and I'm just using a hand mixer today. And then you take your switch. So switches can be different. They can just be one like this with a cord, so you plug it in. Or you can use one of these, which is a cordless one. I like to use this one in the classroom just because it gives me more range to move the switch to each different child without having to worry about the cord in the way. So you plug the switch into here, make sure it's turned, they're both turned on. The regular switches, of course, you don't need to turn on or anything, just these ones do. And then I usually have it for right here where it says timed seconds. And down here you can switch how long you want it to run for before it turns off. So I have mine set around like 20 seconds. So then it'll run for 20 seconds and then shut off. And then you will have to press the switch again to turn it back on. There's different ways you can use it too. You can have it timed in minutes. You can have it so that as they hold the switch it runs. As soon as they let go it stops. Or this latch is called, they press it once to turn it on and they press it again to turn it off. But I just use the timed seconds. Okay, so first off, we need to crush some graham wafers. So I'm going to move some of this stuff out of the way. So we're going to take our graham wafers, and what I like to do is use a Ziploc bag and we put our graham wafers in here. You can do a break them up a little bit. I'm going to do 2 packages. Because the recipe calls for 1 package plus some more, so we'll just throw some in there. Okay. And then I'm just going to pause for a second here. Sorry, didn't realize there was a dog outside. Okay, close it up. Now, we're going to get the air out first, otherwise it won't work as well. Now this is something your child can do. We do in our classroom. You can squish them. You can take a rolling pin and you can bang them, roll it. Whatever you need to do to crush the graham wafers. does take a little while, but it's way more fun than buying the pre-crushed graham wafers. And it's a way to get the kids involved. Okay, so we've got our graham wafers mostly crunched up. So usually after the kids have done, I sort of look and see, you know, if we need a little bit more, and I might just do a little bit just to get any pieces that might have been missed. Now, if you have a child that can't do this, but you do have a power link, what you could do is if you have a food processor or a blender of some sort, you could hook that up to the power link and have your child turn it on to grind up the graham wafers. Same thing goes when you're cooking and you have anything in a can. If you have an electric can opener, you can use the power link for that as well. Just any way you can get your kids involved is great. Okay, so we have our graham wafers. So it says we are supposed to divide these among 4 dessert cups. So I've got my bowls here, and we'll just pour some in. Probably use a measuring cup if you want to be precise as to how much is in each one too. Okay, I'll set that aside. And we'll set our bowls aside over here. Okay, next we need our cream cheese. And the cream cheese should be softened, so you should make sure you take it out before you're ready to start cooking. Same thing goes with the whipped topping. It's hard to work with it when it's frozen. So we're going to take our cream cheese, put it in the bowl, and this says 12 ounces, so that's only 8 ounces. So I am going to use half of this one too. Close this up and put it back in the fridge. Okay, so next, it's going to get noisy, so I'll probably, I'll explain what we're going to do, and then I'll start recording so I can turn the sound off of this one, so it's not too loud. So what you do is you turn your mixer on to whatever level you want it on. So I'm just going to turn it on to 1. And then your child will have the switch, and they will press the switch and you'll see it turn on. And then it'll turn off. So you say, oh, we need to keep mixing. We need to mix more. And you can do the sign for more. If you're using visuals, you can use the visual for more. So we need more. Turn it on. And we'll turn it on again. Turn it on again. We need more. Okay, I'm just going to clear out the cream cheese from the blender. So one crucial and very important thing to remember is if you are doing something where you have this lifted up, or say you're using a stand mixer and you have it, the mixer lifted up, or whatever you're doing, make sure you turn off the mixer, because while you're doing this, if your child presses the switch, you're going to have a disaster. I've learned that from experience and had banana bread, I believe, all over the ceiling in the classroom. It was great. If you want to be extra cautious, just unplug the mixer from the power link, and then you know for sure that you're not going to have a huge mess. In hindsight, I probably should have used the stand mixer for this, but I wanted to show that you don't have to have a stand mixer just to make this, make what we're making. And I'm very lucky that we have one in our classroom. Okay, I'm going to plug this back in. We'll say, oh, we need to keep mixing. Turn on the mixer. Okay, so I'm just going to keep mixing. You probably don't need to watch me mix the whole thing. So we're going to just mix until this is light and fluffy. Okay, I switched bowls because I was getting cream cheese everywhere with that one. I kind of forgot I had this. So, I don't know if you can see, but our cream cheese is all mixed up. So it says light and fluffy. So it's pretty fluffy in there. Next, we are going to add 1 cup of powdered sugar, so icing sugar. Get my 1 cup measuring cup. And we will add that in. Then we need the juice from a lemon. So I don't know if you have a juicer. I have this that kind of works. It's not the greatest, but it'll work. I'm gonna cut my lemon in half. And we will get all the lemon juice out. So this is something else you might be able to have your kids help you with. All right, the other half in here. So you can have your kids even their hand like this and help push it down. And you could turn the bottom as opposed to having them turn it. It's all about finding different ways to do things. Let's see here. I think that's about it. Okay, so we're going to pour this in our bowl. Now another thing you can do with your child, you can smell it, talk about how it smells. If you really wanted to, you can give them a little taste of it on a spoon, or even let them sort of taste from the inside of the lemon and see what they think. So we're going to add in our lemon juice. Set that aside. And we are going to mix. So I'm going to put this on. Turn your mixer on. And then have your child press the switch to turn the mixer on. Take this off so that we can see better. Scrape down the sides of the bowl. I just didn't want icing sugar everywhere. Remember, always make sure your mixer is turned off so your child doesn't accidentally press the switch and turn it on you. Okay, we need to mix more. Scrape the sides again. Don't want any lumps in here. Oh yeah, turn it on. Okay, one more time. We need to mix more. so we're done with the mixer. Set that aside. Now we need our whipped topping. Now we need 1 cup of the whipped topping. So I'll measure that. Pour that in. This is another good one you can have your child taste if you want. And let them lick the spoon. Ask them what it tastes like. So we're just going to fold this in with our spoon. You could use a spatula. We're just going to give it a mix. Now, let me clear up here a bit. We're going to take our dessert bowls. Now the recipe tells you to pipe it in. I'm just going to spoon it. Oops, that one's got a bit much in it. So you put it into dessert cups. Obviously, I have way more than 4, so I'll make a few more. And then you put it in the fridge for 1 hour or up to overnight. And then you can put some extra whipped topping on top and maybe a lemon wedge, and that is your dessert. So I'm going to put these in the fridge and I'll show you a finished picture once they're all done. I hope you enjoy. All right, so our dessert has been in the fridge for an hour. I finished it up by putting some extra graham wafers on top, a little dollop of Cool Whip, and a lemon wedge, and it is all ready to eat. Grab a spoon and take it. Pretty good. I may add some more lemon juice if I make this again, though. It's not as lemony as I would like it, but it's pretty good. I'm going to go sit down and enjoy this and have a little break, and we'll see you guys again soon.